Hello everyone, it's your Monday page 3 hot topics. We're going to kick off the week with some fantastic stories we're going to talk about this week with the page 3 hot topics panel. Now, if you've been watching hot topics for a while, you'll see that it's the original crew who are back together this week. So let's welcome everyone on board. Hello girls. Hello.
Hola.
So there's lots to talk about this week after you've come off your sunny holiday. Chloe, well, we're going to be talking about Emmerdale. Now, we do know that you, Starlot, love a soap story. Every single week, it will be one of our top 5 stories, a soap story. So we're talking about Emmerdale. It's getting a little bit steamy, a little bit hot under the collar. So perhaps it should be after 9 p.m. is what people are saying. It's not really family-friendly showing a sex scene. Or maybe people are just being a bit too much of a prude. Then we're going to go on to Women's Euros. And we're going to be speaking about young people and their finances. Should more be done for educational, for personal finance, or not? And then onto the hot seat with Chloe. So if you've got any questions or comments about any of the topics that we discuss, then just pop them in the comment section below and we can get them answered for you. But girls, we're going to kick off with Emmerdale. We know that theme tune. It always goes on. Now, our generation, do you ever watch Emmerdale? Jess?
Maybe like once or twice, but no.
Yeah. Like a background thing.
Yeah, by accident.
Daisy, do you ever watch it?
Never.
Never in a million. Okay, and Chloe, do you ever watch a little bit of Emmerdale, Corrie, EastEnders?
It's always in my nan's gaff. I have a little peek at it, but nah, not for me.
So obviously they are some of the nation's favourites, these soaps, and they do get watched by thousands of people every single week. Now, when I was watching it, I did get addicted. It's a bit like Love Island, and you can't stop, and you get really invested in the soap lines, and people do really kick off about them. Well, some of the things that people are kicking off this week is due to the sex scenes. They're all getting a little bit raunchy, a little bit much for people. There they are in the barn, having a cheeky snog or so, and the rest. But yeah, people are saying that, you know, it's all too much before 9 p.m. This is supposed to be a family-friendly show. Let's say you're sitting there with your kids, you've not really had that conversation yet, and then all of a sudden a sex scene pops up. Do you think people are just being a little bit much, or do you think they've got a point, Chloe?
Love a bit of sauciness, me. I don't see nothing wrong with it, but for the kiddies and that, it's a bit much pain. Do you know what I mean? You could just leave it for a little bit later. They've got like timings, like for certain things, but yeah, I definitely think it should be left a little bit later for the kids' sake. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to see that.
No, they don't need to see that. I mean, even I remember when I was a kid, when even adults were kissing in front of me, you'd be like, "Oh, stop." Daisy, what do you think?
I don't know. I get it. Like, I do get the point of maybe it should be left till later, but sex is a part of everyday life. It happens. It's a thing. So why not show it? Like, why be prudish about it?
I get it. Why? Jess?
I don't know. I just think it seems a bit weird. Like, why do they need sex scenes on Emmerdale? Like, what? It's not like a sexy thing. But then again, EastEnders used to have, like, remember when Max Brannan and he had that affair? That was a bit raunchy, wasn't it?
It's because all the old ones need a bit of action in their life still, don't they? Maybe put it on for my nan and granddad. Do you know what I mean?
Older people still do have sex.
Yeah.
They still do have sex. You know, maybe it wasn't as wild as their days. But they do still have it, and Emmerdale's are supposed to be a reflection of people's lives, right? So obviously sex is going to be part of of people's day-to-day life. It's how babies are made. It's how the world goes around. So, I mean, would you say that maybe not the watershed, but maybe there should be an age restriction on it? And if there was an age restriction, Daisy, what would you give it for soaps?
14? I don't know. Also, like, don't babies go to bed before 9 o'clock anyway? I don't know.
My cousins don't. They stay up to about 1. They're only about 6.
If you know there's going to be sex on it and they are like 5 years old, then why are you letting them watch it anyway?
Yeah, then maybe that's a parenting thing.
Yeah.
Jess, what age would you give it? We've got 14.
Maybe like a 12A, and then it's got like a thing at the start that says like this contains scenes of a sexual nature.
Obviously, we do also have to make clear, obviously it's acting, and you know they don't show graphic detail, but it is, you know, tops are off, snogging's happening, you know, it is leading to something more. Chloe?
I'll definitely go for the 12A as well. Yeah, I think that's great. Just right at that age.
12. Okay, fine. Do you think there's anything else? I'm so sorry. There's a lorry outside with a big beeping. I don't know if you can hear that. But do you think there's anything else that you know they can do apart from giving a warning, or do people just have to realise that this is obviously a reflection of real life, Chloe?
It's real life. That you don't really give a warning. I don't think you need to do that. I just think, it's real life. It is what it is, sort of thing.
Okay, Daisy, anything else to add?
Well, if the older generation are watching it, they probably want to see a bit of that in it, don't they? So give it to them. Give it to them.
A little bit of a nosy neighbour attitude towards it. I guess so. Yeah, they want to see the action. Jess, anything else?
Yeah, I think just do it. Maybe just put a warning just in case people aren't expecting it. But it's not actual sex. It's not like a X-rated explicit scene. So I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. I think it'd be a bit boring without it, don't you think?
Yeah,
it would be.
You need a bit of action in it. Do you know what I mean?
You do. You need a bit of kissing. You need a bit of what's going to happen, and it adds to the fun. But there we go. That's what lots of people are talking about this week, and they're just getting raunchier and raunchier. It's wild on Emmerdale at the moment. So give it a watch.
Tune in, girls. I better tune in. Yeah.
But we took this to a poll to see what you guys thought. I mean, it was 50-50. Should soaps be played after the 9 p.m. watershed if they include sex scenes? 50-50.
Guys, didn't Hollyoaks have like a raunchy version of it that was on like after the watershed? I swear that was a thing.
I think for some episodes,
yeah. So maybe they should do that for this. Like, if they really want to go like full scale horny, they should do it after like 9 p.m. maybe.
But Hollyoaks classically doesn't win a lot of awards at the soap awards.
Maybe that's why.
So maybe that would be it. I don't know if they still do that, but that is a very good point, Jess. Are you an avid Hollyoaks watcher?
I can't stand it. When I used to hear the tunes, when I used to cover my ears, just brings my blood run cold. But I just know that was a thing. I remember seeing the adverts and being like, what?
Yeah, no, and they do some extreme storylines on Hollyoaks, don't they? But yeah, no. Interesting. Anyway, that's your soap goss this week. I'm going to move on to something which debatably some people would say is more important than soaps, and I would agree with them this week personally. Women's Euros makes history. So we've been seeing a lot of women in sport on our TV screens, which is great to see. We've seen fans in huge numbers support the England women. But girls, I'm going to go around the circle. Have you watched the game yet? Are you interested in watching a game? Daisy?
No, I haven't personally watched a game, but I'm not interested in football, so no.
But have you seen it advertised?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it on Instagram, socials, in the news, heard it on the radio. I do think that it's obviously good to hear about it, but I just don't watch it personally.
That's fine. Chloe?
I watched a little bit of it when I was in Spain, yeah, but nah, it's not really for me. I'd rather watch the men's football, to be honest. All the salts in it, do you know what I'm saying?
Is that the reason why you watch the men's? It's not because of the sport?
Yeah, it's not because of the football, just to see the salts in it, do you know what I mean? Future husbands. I've got to pick the future husband out, do you know what I'm saying?
Jack Grealish got your eye, has he?
He's a bit more Ben Chilwell, Pan. Do you know what I mean? Jack Grealish is a bit too naughty for me. I don't know. Maybe I would though.
Good. Okay then. And Jess, have you watched any of the women's Euros so far?
No, I haven't watched any of it, but some of my friends watching it. My dad's watching it. I've seen it on people's like Instagram stories and stuff. But I really don't like football. But I would watch it just to show support if I was like at a friend's house and they had it on. But,
yeah. So Chloe, you seem to be the only person who's kind of watched it so far. Obviously, this is a massive change for women in the world of sport to actually see it on the TV screens. Do you think that it is getting enough coverage, Chloe?
No, I haven't even seen it once on my media. I mean, when the blokes are playing, everyone's down the pub, everyone's picking up a pint, everyone's having a celebration. We're seeing nothing. No one's down the pub. The pubs are empty. What's going on? I just want the pubs to be full up.
Yeah, it's true. You do see the pubs absolutely full, don't you? Every single time.
We need to have a party more about it. It's women, like
you also see shop merchandise with loads of England flags and stuff, don't you? Tim says not bothered, not really a sports fan.
Fair enough.
Now, Tim, my question to you would be, and do type this in the comments, if the men were playing, would you be watching? So, Daisy, do you think that more needs to be done in terms of merch and stuff in shops to get people really behind it, for people who aren't necessarily sports fans, but to create a buzz?
Yeah, like I said, I don't watch football, I don't like it, but when the World Cup was on, we all watched it. It was a social, it was a jolly, and I enjoyed the atmosphere. If this had kind of the same coverage and there was an atmosphere for it, I'd watch it because I like a social event. But I don't feel like there isn't that really involved in it. Like it's not at all. Like saying the pubs are empty. It's not a thing.
So how would we get you involved in it? Would beg the question.
Advertise more in the pubs. Do you know what I mean? Leaflets, bang, 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 come down the pub and all that. Just get the pubs more involved.
Happy hour.
Yeah.
Happy hour. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yes. What would you do to? Well, I mean, how would it persuade you to say watch it with your dad who's watching this year?
Pubs as well.
Yeah, maybe if it was like a proper thing, maybe get some like, I don't know, get some social media sponsored posts. I don't know. Maybe they should get like the bookies involved and stuff. I honestly don't have a clue how you get.
I mean, obviously the bookies and stuff are involved, but a lot, if you do sponsored posts and stuff, you have to be really careful with like gambling laws and stuff like that, which might explain. But we can do. They have got massive sponsors this year. TikTok is sponsoring them, for instance. They're trying to appeal to a whole, like obviously that generation who are on TikTok, Gen Z, I think.
Yeah. To make the players more. Maybe we need to learn more about the players against our will through like their Instagram.
Learn more about them as a person. I don't even know who they are. Do you know what I mean?
Whereas if I asked you all who an England male footballer was, would you know about their life?
Oh yeah, probably. Against our will, because it's everywhere. So maybe
get away from it.
Yeah.
So one of the arguments is obviously
we need to get some spicy news about them. Do you know what I mean? What the girls are up to. Like we have some spicy news about the boys, like on holiday, cheating. Do you know what I mean? We need a bit of spice about them.
So
get really in the news. Yeah.
A little bit of the celebrity take on a sports world. Okay.
I think it's hard because you don't understand it. I don't know if it was the same for you girls, but when I was in school, PE was separate to the boys, and the boys would go and play football and the girls would play netball. So I've never, ever, ever like learned or known anything about football. So do you think because this is so big now and the women's team is big now, will that like change in schools, and like will the girls be like taught more about it? Because I've literally never ever learned of anything about football. Because
So like, do you think a lot of it is to do with education then?
Yeah,
how you brought up,
knowledge behind something,
definitely.
you're more interested in it, whereas I'm like, I don't even know what that is, so it's boring.
So Jess, if you were the education minister, what would you do?
I guess, make the girls play it and kind of teach them about like who's pioneering the way in women's football. Like make them more like heroes, I suppose, because they are like breaking the mold and doing something amazing. So I guess teach them like the background, and then it might inspire them to play. Perhaps get them to do a tour of the schools or something. The women's team. I don't know how beneficial that is to them.
I mean, they've been doing a massive. To be fair to them, they have been doing a massive press press push. They have been doing these things, but people just aren't. Obviously, they are far more enthused, and they are breaking records. You know, selling out stadiums. They've got huge sponsors. They've got a massive social media push. They've also got the Lions, the Lionesses are doing shared Instagram posts now. So people who follow the men will have to see the Lionesses' Instagram accounts. They're doing shared posts, so it cross posts. So they are doing all of this. Chloe, do you think it's moving in the right direction and at the right pace, or do you think that more needs to be done at a faster pace?
I think definitely more needs to be done at a faster pace. I mean, we just need to celebrate it more. Like, I've not heard one person say, look, I'm going down the pub to watch the girls play football. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's true. What is going on? But lots of people are watching it, so this is obviously great. Tim says, when I was a kid playing rugby, we had a girl on our team. She was brilliant. Should do it more often. And Tim's also said in a previous comment about mixed teams. Do you think mixed teams should perhaps be an option, Daisy?
I do, but I don't think it would work in the sense that quite judgmental maybe, but as like I asked the boy what he thought of the girls' football, and he was like, no, like I can't imagine him as a man playing football. Would you want to tackle a woman in the same way? I don't know if it would work.
I think obviously, so I had this debate actually the other day with a friend of a friend about women's football and also about women's rugby. Obviously, women will have different builds to what men will, but they'll also bring different skills. So they might be quicker, for instance, and stuff. So the whole dynamic and obviously the whole team will change. But for football, I don't know. I think it would obviously bring a different dynamic. But I wouldn't necessarily think that was a bad thing.
No.
I don't know.
I watched She's the Man the other day.
I love that film.
I've seen that. Yeah, that's brilliant. That film. Yeah,
that's a good one. And also, if it started education for getting girls into sport, lots of girls in sport drop out because of puberty in school, and then obviously image and all of that comes up, and they don't want to get sweaty and all of that, so that's when they usually drop out. But we're obviously missing a lot of unfound talent in the UK if we had a bit more money behind it as well. Chloe, do you have any final comments you want to add on this topic?
Yeah, I do. I just think like we really do need to like bring it out there more with the ladies. Like us ladies can do it all together. Maybe promote it more on our social medias. Like really get it going. Us ladies can work together to do this.
Yeah, it's true. Like obviously when the Euros for the men happen, when we get through, we're all posting it to our stories and stuff. And I'm not seeing the same on my socials.
I haven't seen it once.
I've seen it a few times, but purely due to the fact of the journalistic circles and stuff. Like I have like female journalists on there who work in sport. But I think if I didn't have that, I'm not sure how prevalent it would be. Jess, any additional comments?
I agree with Chloe. I feel like maybe us guys are the last people that all this targeting is going to reach. Like we're like the furthest out pool. So maybe if they got some like, I don't even know, like Love Islanders or something, and paid them to say like, come on guys, tune in. But you can't force people to.
No.
To
Well, I mean, the initial game, Josh Denzel he was doing it, and he's a former Love Islander.
So true.
So
maybe Molly May, who knows?
Oh, Molly May would be a good one. She'd appeal to a really dominant female audience. Final thoughts with you, Days?
I'm going the same. Advertise it, publish it. And people like following trends. So if someone like Molly May did post it and say, I'm sitting here watching the football, what do you guys think? People that look up to her would be willing to talk about it and watch it. So I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay, then. Well, we took this to a poll to see what you guys thought at home. Do you think the Women's Euros 2022 is getting enough coverage? Yes, 66%. No, 33%. Would you agree with this poll, Days?
I'll go 50-50. Not far off. I'm going to get rid of the 16%.
Okay. 50-50. Chloe?
I don't agree.
Okay, Jess?
No, I think it's less. I don't think it's getting the right coverage. Maybe like 60-40, 70-30.
Okay, interesting. All right then. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Well, we're going to move on to football now, to finances. 2/3 of young people say a lack of financial education has led them into debt. Girls, obviously, we've all been hit by the pandemic, myself included, and you know, and with the cost of living and stuff going up, it's, you know, affecting everything at the moment, from the food shop to your bills to, you know, what might have been a bit of extra cash if you did have any, it's now no extra cash. So it's really, really difficult for our generation right now, and also the generation beneath us too, as well as older generations who might be thinking about retiring but now can't. And the elderly generation who can't afford their bills. I mean, it's literally on and on and on. But when you were in school, do you remember getting any education about personal finances, Daisy?
No, none at all. And if I'm being honest, I rent, I don't own my property. I would have no clue about getting a mortgage. Like, I know it's because I haven't looked into it, but no one's ever taught me anything about it. Like, I wouldn't know where to begin because I haven't been taught it.
No, it's true. I never got taught about how to sign a check in school, like nothing. Chloe, did you get taught anything about personal finances at school?
Nothing. No, I didn't even listen anyway, but no, we didn't get taught nothing at all.
No. And Jess, did you?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And do you think that this is something which should obviously be compulsory?
I do, yeah.
100%, 100 million%, yeah.
And Chloe, how would it help? How would it have helped you now if you did have that resource at school? How would it be helping you in your current situation right now?
It would help me with the online shopping debt and like the debt from nights out in the clubs. That needs to be taught. I mean, I'm always tapping. That's how I get myself into debt. I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, contactless. Contactless is so.
This is dangerous. Contactless is dangerous. It needs to be taken away.
You can stop. You can get a card without contactless, Chloe.
Maybe I could do that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, and then you'd have to really think about it because you'd have to enter your PIN.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And then take away Apple Pay from your phone too. Don't think you're going to get away with that one.
Never.
That's a good one. Yeah. That's. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's my tip. Daisy, how would it help you now? Obviously, mortgage-wise, do you say?
Yeah, I just think it'd be nice to be more knowledgeable. So for me, I mean, I don't want to buy at this moment in time anyway, but if I did, like I said, I wouldn't know where to start. So it would be nice to have that knowledge so I could then kind of have the stepping stones to move in that direction when I was ready.
Yes. For when the right time comes about. Jess, how would it help you now, sort of investing and stuff like that?
I think it would have been so helpful to hear it from school, definitely. Like, I was really lucky. My mum and dad always like drummed in like budgeting and stuff like that, like from a really early age. But I do think they should talk about it, like even stuff like CCJs and like what happens if you don't pay your bills, just stuff like that. Like, you should know that kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't know about bailiffs until I saw a bailiff. I remember it really well, like walking down the road. I remember asking, I think it was my mum or my dad saying, "Why are those guys outside the house?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh,
I think I saw it on a TV program. Them taking away stuff. I don't know if you've seen that TV program.
Taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so bad.
Oh
But
God,
it's
that program
mad.
is crazy.
And also, like, I didn't know anything about direct debits until I had to pay my first like phone bill, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like,
my sister, she's 16, so she's just finished school, and even she the other day was like, "What's a guarantor? Why would I need a guarantor? Like, could you explain it to me?" So we finished school a while ago, but for someone that just finished school last week, she's not even being taught that today. Like,
I think really now.
Yeah. I mean, Chloe, if you were education minister, what would you do? Would you make it like a weekly or a monthly lesson, and you'd learn about a different thing each week? And from what age would you do that?
I think they should do courses now on it. Like, you can pay to go on a course and learn about it, even if you're 25, 30, any age. I think it should be taught in school, so but then I think people should do courses on it for any age.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Perhaps the government could set up something which would enable people to book online. Of course. There are lots of accounts now which help with this. I think Barclays and NatWest have certain schemes and stuff going to help people understand about finances. But of course, they obviously have an agenda too, don't they? Because they are, at the end of the day, they are the banks. So perhaps I don't know the process, but perhaps they'd want you to obviously be an account member with them or something. I don't know. So I don't know if that's the case, but they probably would, right? But I mean, the other end of the argument is, when they were growing up to like a generations above us, they didn't have that either, and they seem to have seemed to be fine, and they had to learn too. So are we getting too much to be expected to just be given to us, Daisy?
No, because I think times are changing. Like, investing is bigger now than it was before, and houses are a lot more expensive now than there was before. Like, life is different now, so I think it's just moving with the times. We're not asking to be spoon-fed, but nice to be knowledgeable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agree.
Okay, well, we all agree on that one. So let's take it to the poll then, which you might have seen a little glimpse of. Do you think young people need more education when it comes down to finances? Yes, 100%. So there we go. But that brings us on to the hot seat this week with Chloe. Okay, Chloe, well, it's going to be a bit of a quick fire round this week. So we're going to kick things off with Jess.
Chloe, are you watching Love Island? That's my first question, because this relates to Love Island.
Do you know what? I was watching it, but then I went on holiday and I'm not watching it anymore.
That's fine. So my question is, if you were to go into the island, or whatever it's called, the villa, who would you choose? If you were the bombshell, who would you have your eyes on? Who would you go in for?
Now?
Yeah.
Davide.
But what about Ekin-Su?
Ekin-Su.
Really? You're not smart?
Yeah, mate. I'd get the viewers coming in. Trust me. Yeah, Davide.
Okay, fair enough. Good choice.
Yeah.
That's very on theme, Love Island. Daisy, question for you.
A random one, but when you're hungover or you're poorly or whatever, what's your comfort food? Like, what would you go to?
Breakfast days, 100%.
McDonald's breakfast.
What did you say?
McDonald's breakfast or my nan's fry up.
What's your
one? Yeah, my
order?
nan's big fry up.
What do you get, Chloe, when you get McDonald's breakfast?
McMuffin meal.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Lovely it is, yes. I had one today actually, and yesterday.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim's got in touch. Do you have anything wild planned for the next year?
Yeah. I might do something saucy for my mum's 50th. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Might get the lads coming in. We might pop off to Dubai or something. Who knows?
Oh, that'd be cute.
Okay. And I mean, you've just come back from quite a wild holiday, if you don't mind me saying, Chloe. Did you find
Very
love?
saucy. PG only though. Yeah.
PG only. Did you find love on holiday?
Yes, I did. He was from Morocco, but yeah, I'm never gonna see him again. So yeah.
You never know.
Nah, he lives too far.
Oh.
And
Yeah, very sad.
would you invite him over to the UK?
We can live here rent free, Pan.
Rent free.
Listen, my bedroom's open always to him, Pan.
Blimey, Chloe, it's Monday lunchtime. It's Monday lunchtime. Okay then, back to you, Jess.
Okay, so my question is, what's it actually going to be? I'm really sorry, I only thought about the Love Island one before. Okay, so what's your ideal date night? Where's like if that guy was to come to England and take you out, where would you want to be taken out?
The Shard, a couple of bottles of champagne, nice hotel room, best one up top, best one. Yeah, that's it.
Hi.
Only the
Yes.
best for you, Chloe. Only the best for you.
Yes, only the best.
Daisy.
What's the biggest you've ever stepped out your comfort zone?
I thought he was anything else then.
Oh, she didn't like my question.
Oh,
You didn't like that one.
Oh, yeah.
She's back. You're right, Chloe. Oh, and I think that might be bringing the end to Hot Topics this week. But we did have a good couple of questions. I mean, that is a classic case of work from home technical issues, which I'm sure everyone has to deal with this Monday if you're not in the office this week. But girls, thank you so much for coming on today.
Sorry
Chloe,
about that, my girlies. I'm really sorry.
it's fine. Don't worry. We were just closing up, Chloe, and I was just saying.
Okay, sorry about that, my girls.
But I won't be here next week. There may be another host, Charlotte, who is absolutely divine. She might be coming on next week to speak to the Page Street Hot Topics girls. So keep an eye on our Twitter and our Instagram stories to find out when, so you can tune in. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on catch up, then thank you. Hope you're having a lovely evening, day, wherever you are. And we'll catch you all soon.
nice.
Bye, Pandora. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.